out there. It's Seeking a Thread. And I wanted to come to you with a counterpart, a video that is a counterpart to a radio show I did this past weekend. I did it as sort of an off time. My normal hours doing radio for WRFI Community Radio are 11 a.m. every other Saturday. To make a long story short, all of the Saturdays that I have coming up are not working out, so I'm not going to be able to do that show until mid-April again. So I've done a few one-off shifts. And yesterday I did one in the afternoon. I'm giving you the scenic route, but the long and short of it is I am still doing radio. And I did a special show yesterday dedicated to the women of spiritual free jazz. Spiritual and free jazz, avant-garde. And not just this is the women who sing on these records. I want to be clear. Not players necessarily. I wanted to sort of do a whole show dedicated to all those great vocalists. There's some names that are sort of known, and there's some very obscure ones, and everything in between. So I figured it'd be a good sort of focus to do. I haven't heard a show quite like that. So that radio show is linked below. You can listen to the show there. You can find all my other shows there. I'll give you all the links where you can find Seeking a Thread. Well, the show used to be called Searching for a Thread. Now it is called Threading the Needle. So yeah, the links below will show you where all the places you can hear Threading the Needle. So I just want to do a counterpart to that and show you the records I played and sort of just to do a YouTube version of this idea, the women of spiritual free jazz. We're playing an obscure one. Now there is a vocalist on here. She's just listed as Barbara. And this is called Columbus Circle on St. John's Eve. I talked about this in my WFMU acquisitions video. It's a local to Connecticut, Glastonbury on the Faro label. It's sort of a all over. It's not like you're hearing. It's kind of a lot of different moods. It's a little more of an avant-garde, soul jazz. It's a giant group of people on here, but there are some vocals from here she is, Barbara Coyle. She does the one vocal on I'm Your Salvation, which we'll hear in a second. But I know Tom Minko knew this one because it's local to him. But never been reissued, and I bought this from Billy's Record Salon. So we're going to listen to this and talk about the women of spiritual and free jazz. So we have to start with Alice Coltrane. Now, she did this vocal record. She did a cassette version of these spirituals and devotionals that she did at her ashram, which has to this day not been officially reissued. There are bootlegs of that. This is what Impulse did, which is a bit of a archival release. It's not that record. It's different music that they found. This is actually a little underwhelming, but it's absolutely worth getting just to hear Alice Coltrane doing these sort of moody, dirgy vocal devotionals with her and just the organ. And it's a double album. I played a track from this. It's Kirtan Turiya Sings. Everyone was talking about this record when it came out. I think it's 2021 now. Yeah. So I did play this, but you have to just talk about Alice Coltrane when you think about women and spiritual jazz. So, but still nice to have. I'm kind of curious if they ever do an official version of the cassette. One of my favorite vocalists and one who just gets unhinged as all hell. And I played two tracks. I played a track from Black Woman, Sonny Sharrock with, yes, Linda Sharrock. This record is just like nothing else. You know, Sonny Sharrock was he doing jazz even? He was doing like proto-noise. I mean, really. It's on the Vortex label, an Atlantic subsidiary. And just Linda on this record just is unhinged in a beautiful way. It actually gives me goosebumps hearing her go off. I played the final track, oh no, that's not true. I played Bielero. But Portrait of Linda in 3 colors, all black. Wow. Just when you think she's hit a moment where she's like cresting with this blasting vocal, she goes another level up to where you're just like, I think it's incredible. I think it's one of the most daring performances that you can hear. But she also gets there on Black Woman, the title track. And then there's Blind Willie, which is such an interesting instrumental by Sonny Sharrock. This record is superb. So I played from that, and then I also played, she does a bunch of vocals, again with her husband Sonny, Warren. On this record, I got this next one. I WFMU in 2023, and I'm talking about Monkey Pocky Boo on BYJ XOL. There's Mr. Sharrock back there. The track I played, well, you should just look at the link, but I played a track from this again with Linda. We're highlighting the women on these records, so Linda Sharrock. And the track from this one, this is from 1969, 1970. So Linda's certainly a vocalist that you need to talk about. Probably the preeminent and vocalist I think of most when I thought of this show, and I know many of you will agree, is Jeanne Lee. This one's been discussed ad nauseum, really, but it's worth it every time. This is just talk about performances, vocal performances. It's a startling performance. Wow, the space and breadth and just again, I think of courage in a way on this one. This is the Earth Forms version from 1975 Conspiracy. And yeah, it does feature Gunther Hampel, of course, Gunter Hampel, Sam Rivers, Steve McCall, Jack Gregg, who's played some really, just the upright bass on this is so good. But yeah, this the whole way it starts just with no words, only a feeling, no questions, only a light, no sequence, only a being, no journeys, only a dance. Sundance, that first track, that's the track I played. There's my little note card. Yeah, this is one of those that I like to pull out periodically and make sure I play. This one, it just hits the mark every time for me. Really happy to have that. I've had this Blasé for many years now, and it's Mr. Shep with Jeanne Lee again, doing some interesting takes on Sophisticated Lady, the Ellington song, and there is a Balm in Gilead. And I think she does, is it just those two? I think she does, yeah, she's on at least half of this, but here she is with Malachi Favors and Lester Bowie on this. Yeah. This one you can still get for a decent price. This is the French original. So we played that one. I played that one. We, the proverbial we. Like Lebowski said. The proverbial we, man. June Tyson. Now, the one that what came to mind first, and I didn't dig in to see what else I have for June Tyson, it was Astro Black. This is 1973 on Impulse. This is an original Impulse release, not a Saturn record. It's on these labels. And she's on that title track only. Here's Mr. Ra. Astro Black. She's a great vocalist, and she fits right in with the orchestra swells, and she's right at home in there. She finds her place and she stays there. This is a good one if you don't know this one. Absolutely love it. There's probably more June Tyson to highlight, but this one's a pretty new one to me. I've been waiting to corner some Patty Waters, and I got College Tour 1966. Yeah, recorded in April 66, released that year. What a haunting cover. She only was around for a little while, recorded both of her records for ESP disc. I know there's something archival. And then she sort of went about her life. And she's one that likes to just use dynamics and really sort of act as if she's just kind of falling asleep almost, and then all of a sudden she's just like going into like a moaning ecstasy. And this is a live recording with Burton Green, Rand Blake. Rand Blake is the pianist who accompanies Jeanne Lee on another record that I'm looking at. Steve Tintweiss, Shelley Rustin, Giuseppe Logan, Dave Burrell, Perry Lynn, Scobe Stroman on drums. I don't know Scobe Stroman, but the highlight is Patty. This is a subtle record, and this is a pretty nice copy. You need a clean copy of this, and it's ESP disc. That's not necessarily going to be an easy thing to find. But I'll show you the custom labels. I don't have the other one yet. I will at some point on ESP. She's amazing. This cover is just, I love this cover. So I wanted to, yeah, the Pat, actually, and I think, no, this is not the record that inspired this idea, but it was one that solidified the idea, because I was looking at a copy of this, I'm like, oh yeah, I do need to get that, because I want to feature her. Here's one I've talked about, and everyone knows the frustrating story of this one, and only in that it's been criminally out of print and going for stupid money. African Skies by Keelan Phil Coran and Legacy. from 1993, released in 2010 on the Capture label out of Chicago, recorded in Chicago at the Adler Planetarium. This features Akia Sadala doing the vocal on White Nile, which is probably the standout track on this. It's all standout. This is a mind blower. It's a beautiful album, just so beautiful. I did not get this when it came out, but I remember seeing it for the asking price of like $20. And go ahead and look up what this does. See, Phil Coran, the trumpeter. Well, yes, you know, he had his time in the '60s doing private free jazz, and this was a sort of a tribute to Sun Ra after he passed, or was dedicated to Sun Ra. This performance, it features his son Coran, Malik Coran on guitar, string, bass, and flute. Akia Sadala, the vocalist, is also playing bass clarinet, which you hear at the end of White Nile, guitar, flute. Everyone plays flute, apparently. Oscar Brown III, Joseph Marie Verna, classical harp, trombone, and flute. And Coran, who's leading this group, is playing harp, francophone, trumpet, congas, violin, uke, guitar, and yes, flute. So this is one I played yesterday, and I did play White Nile. The next one is another record. At some point I've shown it, I don't remember when. This is good too, before I file these. Eddie Gale and the Ghetto Music. Eddie Gale's Ghetto Music on Blue Note, one of Blue Note's most adventurous releases. What a cover, what a sleeve. I played The Rain, which features, there's a bunch of vocalists because it's a whole chorus, as you can see. Joanne Gale, I'm guessing the wife of or sister, who knows, of Eddie. I didn't look this up, sorry. But this is all composed by Gale. Lyrics for The Rain by Joanne Gale. And there's other vocals on this too, but you have Eddie Gale playing trumpet, soprano, recorder, Jamaican thumb piano, steel drum, bird whistle. Thomas Holman drums, Richard Hackett drums, James Tokyo Reed bass, Judah Samuel bass, and Russell Lyle tenor sax and flute. Bit of an unknown group there, but Eddie Gale would play with Sun Ra at some point. And the singers are all listed here, if you can see it. And so there's a bunch of vocals on this. This is a banger, man. This one's a banger. And that first track, The Rain, is really the one. But the whole thing is just great too. And don't forget the second Eddie Gale Black Rhythm happening. That's got more vocalists on it. I didn't bring that one. I do have it. Here's a more modern record. And I was talking to Sean at the Vinyl Dreamscape about this. Neneh Cherry and the Thing. Man, is this a cool covers record primarily, but half. Featuring Mats Gustafsson, Chrysler Bothen, Paul Nielsen Love, Ingbret Hacker Flatten, and Neneh Cherry doing all the vocals. I played accordion, the MF Doom, or the Mad Villain track, Mad Lib and MF Doom, and I had to get creative with the editing of lyrics. But they also do a version of Dream Baby Dream, the Suicide track, Dirt. Actually, where the heck is Dirt? I thought they did Dirt, but it's not on here. Maybe it's actually, the track list may be an error, because it credits Dirt that is on here, but it's not listed as side A and I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, I know they do Dirt by the Stooges. But the other tracks are by Ornette Coleman. You have Golden Harp by Don Cherry, her dad. Sudden Moment was a Mats Gustafsson song. Too Tough to Die, not the Ramones. Who is that? I'll have to put that in here, who did that song originally. The Dream Baby Dream by Suicide, and Cash Back is a Neneh Cherry song. This is on Small Town Super Sound 2012. I don't know what this is going for, but if you can find this, I highly recommend it. Take it. Just take it. So Neneh Cherry, the vocalist, with The Thing. I won't spend a lot of time on this because I talked about some of the vocalists and my brother There's a lot of vocalists on this, and the song Transcendental March features I played that, and then I also played a track from The Sea, the same vocalist, which this is one of the ones, the archival releases. I want to highlight the vocalist real quick. There's one vocalist he uses primarily, and it is... They're giving all their different sort of like African names here. Barbara McLeod, it could be. I don't think so. In any case, I'll put it in below, but she's the vocalist here and on the C. Brother did use a bunch of different vocalists on his records. Primarily on this one, Move Ever Onward and Key to Nowhere. I ended the show. I didn't get to play the whole thing, but Dee Dee Bridgewater and her track on this, the Silent Minority, the Loud Minority, and the title track that leads this off. Big group on this. I won't get into the whole group, but Dee Dee Bridgewater is the vocalist of Question. You have all kinds of people on this record. Really good. So I did play at the end of this. I love that track, the title track, The Loud Minority. I talked about this already, but needed to bring it in because this is a track that probably inspired the whole thing. Let Go with Jeanne Sherman with Bayard Lancaster, and Garrett List is the band leader here. The second side features most of the vocals, and again, stream that right away. This has never been reissued. It's on the Horo label from 1979. But that song, Let Go, I will never tire of it. It's completely improvised. Jeanne Sherman, what she does in the vocals, as well as Bayard Lancaster, who is destroying on that track. That track is an all-time great track out of anything, all of it. So that song was played. I played it again. I played it on a different radio show, but I love it so much. I played it twice recently. Whatever. American Images is the record, but it's Garrett List is the artist on this, so just so you know. I played she wasn't featured terribly, but Margot Acamore she's doing some vocals, but she's kind of in tandem with Idris, I think, on this. This is not the Pharaohs, the Pyramids. Birth Speed Merging. This is the Strut reissue from the box set. Yeah, I don't have any originals on these, but I do really like that box set. So I played a track off that. Like I said, this is their third LP, band out of Oakland. Few I'll show, they're not... I didn't play this, the World Experience Orchestra. This is the only thing I didn't play. Because it's kind of like the vocalist, she's not really featured, she's kind of in there. But this is a cool record. Very rare out of Boston. This is the Now Again. I wanted to play this, I didn't get to it. Hannibal, Marvin Peterson. There's a couple of cool vocal cuts, but again, the vocalist on this is sort of like part of an ensemble and not necessarily featured. But the way he uses her on some of the songs is really, really excellent. And I did play something from Juju, Chapter 2 Nia, although I guess wasn't listening closely. That is not a woman singing on that record, so this doesn't count, but I played it. And I did play this, even though I'm pretty sure, unless they're both singing together, I'm pretty sure it's Doug Hammond, the first track, Warm Up, which is really cool. This is Ellipse, with Karen Joseph, who's playing flute, and Doug Hammond, the drummer. This is a really interesting record, by the way, the flute and drums. And the warm up, it sounded like a woman at first, but then I realized I think that's actually Doug Hammond, unless they're singing together. But she's not credited as vocalist, so this really shouldn't have counted. But I played it. I played it anyway. Cool one though on that Idibib. So that's it. I just wanted to sort of make a companion to my show that I did, The Women of Spiritual Free Jazz. Linked below. You can listen to it. Again, my radio show is every other Saturday at 11 a.m. I would just say stay tuned for more. I will be back at that schedule in April. I have a lot of stuff going on with the band. Some of our shows are falling on when I was supposed to do a radio show, so that's how that's working out. I believe I am pre-recording for next Saturday, March 22nd. So, in any case, Threading the Needle on WRFI, Saturdays at 11 a.m. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out the radio show. Let me know what you think. And I'll be well. You be well. And I'll talk to you soon.
bippity bop.